Thank you for coming to watch my other video. If you watch the other two, I do appreciate you watching them. I do appreciate people reaching out to me, telling me that they appreciate my story and me telling the things that I went through that a lot of people didn't know. So I do appreciate y'all reaching out to me, saying those things. They were motivation. um, but it's another subject that's very touchy, and I'm putting it all out there, and hopefully I don't offend nobody about none of the stuff that I'm about to say. Those are not my intentions, I promise. My intentions are not to offend anybody, okay? Um, but a lot of people know that I got married very young. I got married at okay, my birthday was in September, and I got married in December, so I had just turned 20. So I was really playing the role of a wife months before we got married. Because we purchased a house in August, and boom, I was 19 when we got our first house. Then the next month I turned 20, and then months later I got married. So I remember it like it was yesterday. I was so happy. So okay, Miss Speed, damn, Miss Speed. And I was like, oh, I'm marrying the love of my life. I used to always call him Sexy Daddy. Be like, Sexy Daddy. Or Baby Daddy. And he used to answer. My mom used to be like, why you always calling him Baby Daddy? I mean, that's just what we do. But I was so in love, y'all. It was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I just wanted to be up under him all the time. I just wanted to, and he wasn't the type that liked to cuddle, but I used to want to cuddle. And like, my friends used to be like, you can't leave the house. Like, it wasn't that he didn't want me to leave the house. I just don't want to leave the house because I want to be up under him. But I was young. As I get older, I realized, you need to get on out with your friends. Stop being up under this man. But marriage at a young age was a lot. I will say that I'm 31 now, and I didn't realize what I want in my life until now. So just imagine getting married at 20. You don't know nothing about your life. You don't know what you go. Your mind develops and changes as you get older. A lot of things that I wanted when I got married at 20 are not the things that I want now. A lot of stuff that I was tolerating at 20, I will not tolerate now. A lot of stuff I used to nag about at 20, I would not nag about it now. So you gain a lot more patience when you're older. So at 20, I didn't know nothing about being a wife. I didn't know. And we both were raised, he didn't know about marriage either. He didn't know nothing about being a husband. As the older I get, I understand that now. We really didn't have an example of a successful marriage or a marriage we didn't have an example. We both was raised by single parents, so we both seen our moms take care of everything. I saw my mom being very independent, no men running in and out. My mom taking care of everything. So I took that independent mentality that I got from my mom into my marriage. And if you know a lot of things that a single parent, independent woman does, you will understand that you cannot take that type of mentality into a marriage. And I didn't understand it at 20. I didn't. So a lot of people always say, oh, it was this person's fault. It was this person's fault as to why you're not married anymore. No, it was both faults. Okay? We didn't know what we was doing. We just knew that we loved each other. We knew we had a child together. We knew we was purchasing this house together. And we just knew that no matter what, we wanted to be with each other. We didn't know how our lives changing and us growing and going through different things was gonna make us feel a different way. So the first year of marriage, y'all, it was not easy. It was not easy. It was not a walk in the park. They always say that the first year is tough, and that is the God honest truth. You know how many times I screamed I want a divorce? You know how many times I wanted it to be over, but just talking, didn't want it to be over for real, but just yelling it because I didn't know at the time how to handle things. I was spoiled. I was so spoiled. Everybody in my family spoiled me. Everybody. So just imagine not only having the independent mentality, but being spoiled. It was so many times that if I didn't get my way, I would just stop talking to him. I'd be like, I ain't talking to him. I just have an attitude. I'll snap at anything. I would just be angry. And of course, don't no man want to deal with that. Don't no man want to deal with no attitude. And of course, don't no woman want to deal with no attitude. Not saying he had an attitude, but I had an attitude. My attitude was so bad to where he felt like he had to walk on pins and needles with me. And you cannot have an attitude problem when you are in a marriage. There are times that you ain't finna want to talk to your husband or your wife, but you still got to talk to them. You can take a little time off steam, walk away, take your about 15, 30 minutes and come back and have that conversation as to what led you to being angry. I couldn't do that. I didn't know how to do that. I had a problem with being vulnerable. I had been through a lot of stuff in my life to where I had this brick, double brick, triple brick wall up to where I couldn't even be vulnerable with nobody, even my husband. And if anything, that's the person who you're supposed to be vulnerable with. And it took me some time. We are still married. We're still married. It'll be 11 years in December, but we've been separated since December of 14. And I have now, after 6 years of being separated, been able to be vulnerable with him. And I bet he probably like, who the hell is this? It's me. Still Shonda. I just done been through some things in my life that has allowed me to understand that, bitch, you need to be vulnerable. And there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? But, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of compromising in marriage. It's a lot of sit downs that you gotta have. It's gonna be some tough times to where you feel like divorce is the only option. But let me tell you, don't always go with that option. You make sure that you exhaust all of the options before you do divorce. Because 9 times out of 10, you might regret it. You might be yelling divorce in the heat of the moment, but don't really mean it. But patience, I'm telling you, patience is something that you really have to have when you are in a marriage. Because let me tell you like some examples of what I didn't have patience with that I probably would now and just be like, forget it. But cleaning up, men are not as clean as us. I'm telling you. It'll be times where I go in the bathroom, a little drip on the seat, and I'm like, you really couldn't get this drip off the seat? Now, I get some tissue, wipe, keep it moving. It'll be times where we would come in from work and he'll take his shoes off in the kitchen and walk to the room. You walk into the room, why you can't get your shoes? Now, pick the shoes up, take them in the room. Baby, please get your shoes, okay? Don't leave them in the kitchen no more. Okay? Kiss, kiss. Keep it moving. Oh my gosh. Dishes. I hate dishes. I hate it. I hate it. I still to this day hate dishes with a passion. I hate them in the sink. It would be, man, I will wash dishes and it never fails. Either him or my child will come right behind me and put a spoon in the sink. And it's nothing in the sink. Why? And I would just flip. But now, even though I do still hate dishes in the sink, baby, can you get this? I'm not saying this is what I'm saying to him because, never mind you, we have been separated. We ain't together, nothing. But now, baby, get that spoon out the sink. It ain't gonna hurt you. You gonna do it? Okay, kiss, kiss. Move on with it. It's a lot of things that it's a lot of things that now that I am more accepting of and can tolerate that in the past I couldn't. To where I shock myself, like, you okay with that? What? Girl, where is this new Shonda? But of course, I will not, and I'm telling you, I would not recommend anybody getting married under 25. I would not recommend it because your mind is not how it is at 20 or below where your mind will be 10, 15 years from now. And you don't know if that person that you're married to, yeah, y'all in love at the time, you love them, you want to be with them, you love having sex, all that stuff, because we're going to keep it real. You love having sex with them. You love all that stuff, but you don't know if 10, 15 years down the line, if you getting married, if that person is going to be mentally prepared and going to be at the level that you are to continue to grow in that marriage. You don't know that. So take your time. I'm telling you, marriage is a beautiful thing. I know a lot of people say men cheat, men do this, men do that. Not every man, not every woman, not all the time. Sometimes not at all. Don't feel that you have to pressure a man into marrying you, because if they're not ready, don't force them, because you will end in divorce. You will. You will. And you don't want to marry somebody who ain't ready to marry you or who ain't ready to feel that you all they need. You're not ready. You don't force them to do that. The same with men. Don't go and marry. Don't, just because you got somebody pregnant, don't rush and try to get married to them. Because just because you pregnant with them, they got you got them pregnant. I can't talk. Just because you got them pregnant don't mean that's who you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life. Forget them old people, the old sayings. Make an honest woman out of them. If you ain't ready for marriage, don't marry her. Okay? And women, if you pregnant and you know you ain't ready for marriage, don't say yes. Okay? But a lot of people have to understand marriage is not an easy task. And if you're not willing to go through the steps it takes to have a successful marriage, do not get married. I wasn't ready. I didn't know I wasn't ready. I just knew I wanted to be with him and he wanted to marry. Okay, we get married, boom, boom, boom. But I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But man, it was a journey. It was a journey. It was a lot of things that we went. And what's crazy is we didn't argue like that. Like, if I ever tried to pop off an argument, if y'all know Darren, Darren would look at me like, who finna argue with you? And keep it moving. And now I'll be the one, no. He'll be like, who's finna argue with you? And I finally calm down and be like, man, I just made a fool of myself because he ain't even arguing with me. So it'll be times where if I get mad, I'll just shut down instead of communicating. He didn't know how to communicate as well. I will say that now that he's getting older, he knows how to communicate more with me and he listens more to me. Because in the past, when I felt that he wasn't listening to me, I would start screaming and yelling instead of anything else, like trying to figure out how to get him to listen. But of course, can't no one person do it by themselves. If somebody's talking and you ain't listening, there's gonna be some type of disagreement or argument. This is because a lot of people don't like just talking for their health, like just talking just because. Don't nobody like that. So it takes for the other person to listen and to actually consider what the other person is talking for it to work. I mean, what the other person is saying for it to work. But I will say it was some things that it was a lot of roles that we didn't know how to handle. Like as far as my role and his role, we didn't know how to handle it. So it led to me stepping out, and I'm not proud of it. But that happened, and that's what. Well, after I told him, I let him know, I just have a problem. A lot of people always say you are too honest, but I feel like if you are in a relationship with somebody and if you are with someone and you truly, truly, truly love this person, there is nothing that you cannot tell them that your heart would not. My heart, if I really, really love somebody, my heart is not going to allow me to lie to them. So I came and I told him what I did. And of course, he was upset. And we went to marriage counseling and we tried to make it work. And unfortunately, it didn't. And it took years for us to both drop the bitterness, because I was bitter that it was a lot of things that I was trying to talk to him about to make our marriage better that he wasn't considering. I felt that he wasn't listening. And he was bitter because of what I did. So it took us years to get. A lot of people always say, oh, y'all are so good as far as co-parenting. It took years. years. And we are back to a stage to where he is my best friend. He is my best friend, and it is, sometimes it gets hard to be like separated because he is my best friend. And you know, like if somebody is your best friend, like this man, we were together on and off since I was 14, right? So just imagine, life didn't start hitting me till I was about 15, and he was there through every step of the way. Even at the stages where I was bitter, he still came through for me emotionally, and that means a lot. So I just feel like even if we're together, whenever we do finalize our divorce, there is not a person I'm ever gonna turn my back on, like never, because he has always been there for me. But key things to, I would say, a successful marriage from my point of view and from my experience is to learn how to communicate. Learn how to communicate. Learn to take down that wall, because don't nobody want to deal with somebody who got a wall up. Don't nobody want to deal with it, because if you are married, there should not be a wall up anyway. If there's a wall up, y'all need to be married, okay? Be patient. Don't expect change within each other to happen overnight, because it's not. It's not at all. It may take years. It may take a lot of counseling. You never know. But be patient. Don't give up, okay? It's gonna, if you already been in a relationship with this person, you know it's gonna be a lot, a lot of obstacles within their relationship. So just imagine being in a marriage. It seems like when you get married, it's like that stuff start hitting harder. Then you got women coming at them, men coming at them, just because they see that y'all in a relationship and y'all done got married. I don't know. It just makes people come after you. Oh, they married. Oh, so he like to be committed. She like to be committed. Let me shoot my shot, even though they married. So y'all gonna have to have the strength to be able to tell them people, nah, this is who I'm with. Don't give in to temptation. If a girl is on there popping and doing the handstand, teach your wife how to do it. Tell her this what you want. Show her this is what you like. Okay? Don't go cheap because she ain't doing it. You show her that that's what you want. Okay? And wives, you can't get upset. You're gonna have to, if you want to keep him, you better twist and turn and flip and mop it up with on the floor. Okay? And then I will say, and these are just my things. There's more to be added, and maybe I'll talk about those in a later video. But the fifth thing is to encourage each other. Encourage each other. Never give up on each other. Tell each other, if you gotta say it every day, baby, you look good. Just to let them boost. Don't let nobody else tell them. You make sure you tell them. So when the next man or the next woman come, they be like, oh shit, my wife already told me, my husband already told me I'm fine. You let them know that they look good. Okay? Sexy daddy, sexy mama, let them know. Because you do not want the next person telling them, because they will. But y'all can hit me up on any social media. I'm Nashonda Thomas on Facebook, LaShonda.speed on Snapchat, and on Instagram, Shonda Sosa 07, I think. If you have any questions about marriage, any things that I may have experienced through my marriage, hit me up, okay? Because I am an open book. There is nothing I won't tell if I feel like it's going to help you, okay? I done had so many experiences, which I will talk about. But for a lot of people that didn't know, I did used to be married. My last name is still legally Speed. I just go by Thomas. But I thank y'all for watching this video, and y'all have a nice day, okay?